So if I belt loop you and I go away that way, there you go. We can see all this really beautiful bend up here. See a lot of really high level players throughout history do this, like early in their golf swing. Stenson does it dramatically. Tiger really did it in 2000.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good.
Yeah, you're putting all the pressure.
And it also sends the center of mass of the ribs behind the center of mass of the pelvis. Hey everybody, Milo here along with Riley and Cameron. Cameron happens to be a student of mine who now is part of elite golf schools.
Yeah, baby.
Pretty awesome. And hopefully you recently saw the video we just did on the sacrum move.
You'll see how that sacrum just peels out of there and works dramatically.
In this video, we're going to talk about what the upper body is doing to correspond with that and to be a team.
Yes.
And we call this ribcage sway, right?
Yes. And I think what's really awesome with it is it marries so well with what the pelvis is doing. So again, if we go back to that like rear view or posterior view, we see what that sacrum move's doing. But it's really important in this system, as you brought up, not to just look at one point, you want to look at the entire system. So we got to look at what the rib cage is doing as well, just so that we can see what the center of mass in the ribs is doing to go ahead and help or partner well with the pelvis or the sacrum.
Well, let's get into it.
Let's do it. Why don't we do this, Cameron? Why don't you face the camera and then hug that golf club? All right, so what's really cool, we're gonna show spine bend in this, and we're going to show them the proper way to do it and an improper way to do it. So let's show improper bend first, which would be the center of mass in the ribs working this way.
That hurts.
Yep. So first, we bent the spine, but it's going to leak down here in the L spine, and that's why you go, that hurts, doesn't feel good, right? So the center of mass works away from the target in the ribs when performing that act. Now show rib cage sway on your own. We're going to go forward towards the target. There you go. Excellent. So this is what's trippy. Do that again from setup. So he's neutral spine here. The center of mass in the ribs is going to go towards the target. Ooh. But the trail side, the right side, went into bend. And what's really cool, like from our view right here, Milo, we can see that now all the bend. Notice you don't go ow. Yeah, it's because it's high up.
It's
all in the
happening
C spine
in
and the T.
The thoracic spine now.
It's all thoracic bend.
This side's expanded. This side is compressed.
Clunked, exactly. Yep. It's like an accordion, right? So do that one more time. That's another really good thing to see is as Cameron's showing that, these ribs are all separating. These ribs collapse on top of one another, but you probably feel that underneath your armpits, Cam. Am I right in saying that?
Correct. It feels just a slight, I say pinch, but it's not painful in any way, shape, or form. It just is the actual...
It's a scrunch.
Exactly.
Beautiful,
100%.
Exactly.
There's no pain there. I feel like I can be in this position all day.
And you probably feel like a stretch right here.
Yep.
Totally,
So let's do that from posterior view.
So we just put a sweater on him so we can see some markers that we put on his spine to denote kind of where the spine is.
Yep. So let's show the boo-boo, the bad bend first. So you see there how like very little is happening. Some is happening in here, but you see how drastically you can see the bend down in here, right, Milo? Like down in like lower T and all the L, and that's where Cam goes, ow.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good.
Yeah, you're putting all the pressure.
And it also sends the center of mass of the ribs behind the center of mass of the pelvis. So now it's tilted over there.
Exactly. So what's the sacrum going to do in that pattern?
Slide.
Exactly.
Yep.
Bad, right? So let's go rib sway, proper. There we go. And you can even see it in the wrinkles in the shirt. See how all the bend is like right up in here. You can see how it's like straight up, and then it goes whoop.
Yep.
Bend up here in like T and C. It's a beautiful look right there. So that's really important because, again, I think we were talking about this off camera, Milo, how the center of mass in the ribs and the center of mass in the pelvis, they counter one another for us to just stay in balance. So if, Cameron, you can make a backswing for us right now. There you go. There goes his sacrum towards the target. The center of mass of the ribs went away from the target. Now, as the sacrum starts to move away and Cam starts to rib sway back forward, there we go. Now we're in a good position. So you can see that the sacrum is working away.
There you go. Now it looks like a real golf swing.
Yep. So let's do that again. Okay, so if I belt loop you and I go away that way, there you go. We can see all this really beautiful bend up here. By the way, in our opinion, very, very healthy move when it comes to bending. Like you see this in babies crawling, you see it in swimmers, you see it in guys throwing a baseball. Runners, you see everybody bend, but the bad place to bend is in the L spine.
Totally.
That's a friggin' like tree trunk down there. We don't want to bend the tree trunk.
It's how the facet joints are lined up. They're not designed to bend down there. The T-spine is designed to be mobile and rotational.
Exactly.
The L spine is designed to be kind of solid. It's where your core, you need your core on so that it holds that solid.
Yeah, absolutely. And so rib sway is really important for a number of reasons. Number one is we need, like, and I think your term is landing on your left side. In my opinion, that's the landing mechanism. We're getting the center of mass and the ribs working back forward towards the target from the rib sway. The sway also, because I could get my ribs moving back forward again, but not bounce into this right bend and go this way. Well, what's that going to do to my golf swing? Steep over the top. Now we're in a world of hurt.
That's a hacker's move.
That's a hacker's move. So right there, then you'll still see this extend and the ribs work away. Now I'm still in a bad position, but at least I got the golf club in an okay spot at delivery.
That's what a good player would come up with for their matchup with that. You know, if they this to shallow it out.
Yep.
Versus the most dynamic players are going to have more of the bend from up in the T-spine up, from the ribs up.
Exactly. And so I'm going to keep going back to this because it's like the perfect word for this. It's all a system.
Yeah.
Totally. Right? Like the pelvis and the ribs work in harmony with one another.
Yep.
Right? If you don't get the center of mass of the ribs up and you're trying to move the sacrum away, it's not going to feel good. You're not going to hit quality shots. You're never going to compress it. Your bottom out's going to get whacked. You're not going to have face control, blah, blah,
It feels
blah.
very unathletic too, I think, is the big takeaway from that. Is like when you're striking a golf ball and you're moving in a your system is moving in harmony, it doesn't feel like a lot of effort. It feels very athletic. It feels very easy.
Yep. Cameron, if you can go back in there again, and let's go face on with holding the golf club traditionally. From right here, Cameron needs to rib sway or laterally move away from the target. And you see a lot of really high-level players throughout history do this, like early in their golf swing. Stenson does it dramatically. Tiger really did it in 2000. Doesn't do it as much anymore. But in essence, if Cameron goes rib sway into his trail side here, there we go. He's got lateral movement and lead side bend, left bend, like in the first 2 feet of his golf swing. So we've knocked out both of those stones, right?
And it shifted his pressure because when the ribs swayed a little bit, the pressure moved into the trail foot.
Well, I like that too because it's not a pressure shift of me sliding laterally. It's just the way mass is moving.
You just moved a little bit of your upper mass.
Yep, exactly. Now, you could move this laterally and this laterally, and it's not going to feel very good at all, right? Unathletic again, like you always talk about. So let's do that one more time with the first portion here. There you go. Now, Milo, I don't want to knock you right in the teeth.
You're not going to hit me.
Let's go ahead and turn and let the arms rise, and that's what's going to complete the backswing, which is awesome. So Cameron just did all 3 things that we just talked about. Lateral movement early, right? You can do that early, both in the away and the forward swing, and get your bends more or less all done early in both moves as well, the away and the forward. Then you're just left with rotation.
Exactly.
We're going to show kind of a modified 2-piece drill that we'd love to do here at the Academy. So let's show rib sway early. Good. So now what Cameron's done is he's knocked out left lateral bend and rib lateral movement there. Now all he's left with is turning to the top and hitting it. Beautiful. So again, it's like this lateral move, you just do it early. I mean, in the backswing, we can get this done early. Now I'm just left with turning. Now as the sacrum moves, if I move this laterally towards the target and I work into that right bend, there's that lateral and bend early. Now I can just turn, boom. Just makes it so simple. Get your laterals and your bends done early and turn. Okay. So another really, really cool view. Let's show that same exact drill. So nice and lateral here, boom. So you can see how now we've got that lead side bend here. You can see the shape that's made right here. I'm out of the way, go ahead and complete and hit it. Flush.
That was a flusher.
That's nice.
We'll be able to see, and we'll slow this down for you guys, how his spine is moving from that rear view there. And we're going to get one more angle here real fast. So guys, let's recap this real fast and just talk about, this is all one big system, and it's not only my ribs moving, it's also how my pelvis is moving, as we've shown in another video. Sure. It's all one big global system. And the key is we want to move our middle well.
Yes, exactly. Like, I think there's 3 basic systems in the entire golf swing. There's the club system and how it's just designed, right? And then there's the arms and hands that swing the instrument, and the body's there just to support the swinging of the arms and the hands. Well, if the body doesn't do its job, the arms and hands are just left to their own devices. They have to do way too much work. Yeah, and that's where we get into this whole consistency thing. Yeah. I want more consistency. Well, if you want more consistency, you need to move your middle well so that the arms and hands have an easier job to control the club.
Yeah, exactly. I always say that the body is the transport system for the arms and hands.
Yes, beautiful.
It transports it in space so you can accelerate fast, and then your arms and hands can make the little minute adjustments we need to make the ball go where we want.
That's such a cool way to say it. I'm probably going to steal that, just so you know.
There you go.
Okay.
Sweet. That's all good. I stole it from someone else, I'm sure. Okay, so hopefully you guys like this video. If you did, please like and subscribe. Come follow the guys at Elite. They're awesome, great communicators. And come over to milolandsgolf.com where we can teach you to swing like an athlete.